so be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Live to trade another day, live to trade another day, live to make another play. Win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Is it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything, not gonna get upset, just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future, up early just like a rooster, eyes glued to the computer looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do, buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna, cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances, and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams, wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money, scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Don't be scared, G, like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes, people hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious, shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age, life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared, what a imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all, hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair, man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Either's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Dano Crypto. On this channel, on these live streams, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Freaky Friday. We are going to cover some of the price action in crypto here. We're going to cover some of the altcoins. We are going to look at a couple charts. We're going to look at the Bitcoin price action, the ETH price action, Solana. We're going to review some of the data of the ETFs, the ETF inflows and outflows for these cryptocurrencies. We are going to, just kind of give you the sentiment right now. Crypto Twitter right now is very much, I think, in the darkest place it's ever been. And there's a lot of reasons for this. And one of the reasons being is that we've had coins like Zcash, we've had coins, and we've had gold, we've had the stock market pumping, we've had all these things that are performing well over the past year that crypto Twitter isn't holding a single thing of. So if you're wondering why there's just so much anger and disdain for like what's happening in crypto, even though we have the most bullish framework ever for crypto, the best setup we could ever ask for regulatory clarity, legislation, stable coins getting minted out the wazoo, partnerships, deals being made, all this stuff, like credit card companies capitulating and saying, all right, if you can't beat them, just freaking join them, baby. This is what's happening. We have Solana paying Western Union to get on the blockchain, kind of saying, hey, come on, look, here's where the cash is, baby. It's all over here. Institutions are still picking Ethereum as the choice and picking Solana at the same time. So we're gonna talk about it. We want to get your opinion on, what you think is going to be the outperformer, or what's going to outperform which. Is Ethereum going to outperform Solana over time? Is Solana going to outperform Ethereum over time? Who knows? I mean, we just got to be here for the ride. So welcome, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. So if you guys can do me a favor and help with the algorithm on YouTube has been kind of like, it's been a little treacherous, man. And, it doesn't help for the fact that like people are so angry with crypto. I want to get new people in, but I will be honest. I think most of you that are watching this channel right now are at least one cycle in. You're like 2 cycles in. Maybe you came in 2021. Maybe you came in right at the tail end of all the craziness right after COVID. And so a lot of you are those people from that cycle. And if you're here now, that means you will be able to survive the rest of the volatility to the upside, because we've been bonked, we've been beaten, we've been just getting chopped up. And it's pretty crazy what has happened and what people chose to buy. Like, we bought primarily in crypto Twitter, we all bought a bunch of altcoins. We bought a bunch of meme coins. We barely bought any Bitcoin. Most people were gambling, leverage trading, just trying to farm all these different blockchains with airdrops. And so it kind of took us away from what was happening, say like, crypto Twitter stuff, and all these extractions were happening over here. But all the while we had gold pumping to all-time highs. We have all this stuff over here, like the privacy coins getting ready to freaking pump, the Zcashes, all that. And so this is why we feel the way we feel. We could have been buying XRP, Zcash, and gold, literally 3 things, and Bitcoin, and not touched a single altcoin. And so this is why the sentiment feels like it does. This is just the truth. It's just like, that's why people feel so gross right now in crypto. But I want to come here and tell you that that's okay. That it is totally fine. There's plenty of things that we could still accumulate, that we could still buy, that we could still work towards, and we don't have to feel the FOMO on Zcash. Give me a break. When have you ever felt FOMO on Zcash? Only until everyone on the freaking timeline starts talking about Zcash. Okay? So don't worry. You don't have to feel FOMO. This is the thing that I've been trying to heal myself of, is the FOMO, because the FOMO will get you wrecked. It'll make you do irrational, irresponsible decision making. And you're better off just sticking to your guns, because you weren't looking at Zcash. You didn't give a shit about Zcash. Only until Arthur Hayes starts saying, I'm going to give away some Zcash. When Arthur Hayes comes to the timeline and says, I'm giving away Zcash, you might as well go to the next damn play. So that's all we're saying. But privacy is a big deal, and we're going to get into that. But let's get into the price action right now. Let's just get right into the meat and potatoes. Bitcoin did do, like we said, our max pain IQ test, and the max pain IQ test was to bring that price right down into our circle area. And I'll tell you why we ended up thinking that that was going to be the play, because we saw the rejection off that all-time high and basically this bearish divergence that ultimately happened across the entire space because of the nature of the other markets that are working in tandem with crypto. Because crypto usually gets the hit first and is the first thing to get sold off. Do you want to know why? Because it's the more liquid market. It's liquid in a sense that you can easily sell your crypto faster than you can sell your bonds or your stocks or your gold or whatever it is you're trying to sell. Crypto can get sold a lot faster. So that's why it's usually the first to dump. And then when things are good, it can be the first to pump as well. So we have to see how much this is going to continue, because we're getting these false, pumps. We got the big wick down to that area of max pain I told you. Now let me explain why I was expecting it on a more so of a chance of it happening than not happening, is because we had massive liquidity sitting here. What was I using? The order block for Lux Algo. So if you type in the indicators, order block detector, and then you put this on the daily, the 4 hour, you can also, you can see where a lot of liquidity support was sitting. You can see that there was a lot of support sitting at this 100K level, 98,000, and usually right on the money sometimes. These coins, which are high traded volume tokens that are in the top 10, top 15, top 50 crypto, they respect these order blocks very much so. I've seen it happen. And when I was trying to catch some trades and see where, you have a high probability chance of something hitting in this support area, it did exactly that. So this was the max pain IQ test that I was talking about that we were, looking to hit. And so why is this important? Well, this all does correlate as well with the ETF inflows. So the ETF inflows are a big thing that we have to now watch in the crypto space, because before we didn't have any ETF inflows. We just had regular trading, futures trading, contracts, calls, options, CME. That's what we had for crypto. But now we have ETF inflows and outflows. And so whenever we start to see things like this, like we saw at the end of October, it just didn't look good. Most of October did not look very good according to CoinGlass here. October kind of just looked like, we got a 3.6% down. It was a red October. We had a red October. It was supposed to be Uptober, but we got kneecapped. It was kind of treacherous. So what I'm looking at here is a way to have news, price, narrative all play a role in making you think that things are happening for no reason, or they're just or it's just, it's dumping because crypto's in a bear market. It all kind of relates to getting price lower, grabbing liquidity down at the lows, and servicing ETFs, because they're doing this with all the coins. Everything's going down. So then the institutions in the dry powder that's kind of sitting on the side can snatch it up all in these levels. So we're seeing this with Bitcoin, because they need still more Bitcoin to be servicing these ETFs. The same with Ethereum, I think. We told you, when you start to see inflows in Ethereum for the ETF start to get into the millions of dollars per day, we'll start to see price go up. That's what happened. Ethereum actually started to get close to pumping to all-time highs, previous 2021 highs, because the inflow started pumping hard. And now I have this same correlation. It's not guaranteed, but I'm correlating. I'm dubious speculating here to why we could compare the success of ETH and also the success of Solana together because of this institutional driver of the ETFs. And we have to think about the staking too. Institutions like that yield. They have a lot of money that they can just park and have it be not as risky with generating yield over a 10-year period. This is what you have to think of, is that they're wanting to generate yield and then have a massive return over a 5 to 10-year period, not a 6-month flash in the pan, crypto goldfish, crypto Twitter trench time frame. That's what everyone on crypto Twitter has been in a 6-month time frame, and they're just like they're losing their minds. But all we need to do is just continue to find the good coins. Which is, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. Some are kind of obvious, but then you have to kind of doubt. You got to dig. You got to have your network sometimes is your net worth. Because look, we have Headband, we've been talking about privacy, and then we discovered something like Zera Labs, which is like a low cap privacy thing, building all of the stuff that people are bullish on, quote, Zcash for Monero, but it's like it's like literally less than a quarter of the market caps of these big projects that everyone's showing on the timeline. So that's kind of how you can get your edge. You can stick to the basics, but then you're also kind of like your 10%, 15% allocation of your stuff that's low cap can potentially outpace your entire portfolio. You just never know. You never know. It could all go to zero, or you can be an absolute legend and really crush it by having this edge. So, and just to remind you guys, there's the crypto retail doesn't know what you're talking about. When you talk about pump fund, very small portion of retail and society even knows what a token launch is or a launch pad. If you said launch pad, they would think you're probably thinking about like a damn jet launch pad or something like that, not a token launch pad. No one knows what the hell we're talking about, okay? So we have to remember this. We have to know that retail isn't even here yet. They only just downloaded Coinbase and Robinhood in the past cycle. They didn't even get as far as downloading a MetaMask or a Phantom or swapping tokens or learning that you can like deposit into a pool and stake it, or maybe if you stake it, then you earn some kind of incentive yield, or, retail didn't get that far. They never got that far. And so obviously they were lining up to buy gold. Look, here's a comparison. The blue line's Bitcoin, the red line's Dogecoin. Gold is the gold one. Crypto's green, altcoins are purple, okay? Not even ever did we get any kind of spikes on retail and worldwide. This is worldwide too. This isn't just United States or a specific area. This is worldwide. Past 5 years, search terms that you would expect retail to be typing in: Dogecoin, gold, crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins. Okay. And in 2021, in May and in November, that's when we had our spikes for the previous bull run. Okay. Then before FTX crashed, we had everyone getting bullish on the exchanges, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then we got rugged. Everything capitulated. We had massive, things going down, just like the Terra Luna crash, all coinciding together. And then we had a massive, but then look, you can see gold just kind of sustained. But then right at the tail end of us kind of being in, quote, the most bullish crypto framework that we could ever be in. No Gary Gensler, no Operation Choke Point, politicians, talking about Bitcoin, all the talks of the states having treasury set up, companies being bullish. And then we literally have it all trending down to zero, and gold breaking up to max euphoria FOMO. This is why if you're in crypto right now, you feel like you're mental. You're like, what is even happening right now? So I get it. But look, even going down and looking max painting into this area, we wicked right back up to 104, and look at what they do to you. They get you excited. They think, oh yeah, you're going to get your V-shaped recovery. Well, I'm going to split your V in half. Here's your V-shaped recovery. it just went right back down and scooped down to the lows. So it's not looking good for the weekend here. So we could get a low on the weekend. There's two different IQ tests. Now, I told you about this one too. There's one here, and there's another Lux Algo order block right here at $88,000. Imagine the smell. Imagine the smell on crypto Twitter, and imagine hearing Peter Schiff laughing from miles away. You'd be able to probably hear Peter Schiff's laugh over the pond. So I would even wager to bet that this could happen. 88K. What are you going to do then? I bet people are going to probably start to justify if they could sell both of their cars if they're a 2-car family and start taking the bus because, man. But I will say though, that will scare the crap out of people if we went that low. 88K, if we went really that low, that we would be, a lot of people would be like, yeah, it's bear market. Like that's the bear market. Like we would be in bear market, full bear market territory. People are already thinking right now we are in a bear market. Like this is it. Like that was it. Like the 126 was the top. That's it. Hang it up. But we just have to be prepared for this. I just don't want to take that off the table. If you guys are just like not expecting it and saying that never will happen, don't ever say that anything in crypto will never happen, because that's the moment it will. We should have learned our lessons long ago when it comes to those big statements like that. Oh, that'll never happen. We'll never go under 100K again. Yeah, we all said that, and guess what happened? We just did it. So, all right, so let's get into a little bit of the news. Richard Hart has communicated. I've heard a new project is launching. Details within 24 hours. He says he's excited. Be ready. He's not talking if it's a project that he's launched or anything that he's involved with, or if it's a friend's project. Who knows if it's a new blockchain? Who knows if it's a new token? Who freaking knows? But Richard has been making some moves around in the blockchain. A lot of the wallets that are from the SAC funds, which if you don't know the whole Pulse chain thing, Richard Hart is the creator of Hex. Hex was one of the most popular altcoins that ended up pumping thousands of % on the Ethereum network, and it made people a lot of money. It also, people lost a lot of money too. So there's a very controversial thing with Richard Hart. People call him a scammer. He creates a layer 1 called Pulse Chain, and there was a donation, basically a sacrifice wallet that you basically sent in your either Hex or Ethereum, and you sacrificed it to be able to then get Pulse Chain and get airdrops of Pulse Chain. But now that we've gone from that point of the sacrifice now, the charts are at the absolute bottom and look like absolute garbage. And so right now, those sacrifice funds have been routed into Tornado Cash, which is a private, obfuscator of the blockchain, which goes into Tornado Cash. Then it's kind of like, you don't know where the hell it's going after that. So this is the whole controversy here of, is Richard Hart going to pump the chain? Ivan on Tech thinks like, why would he do that? Oh, because people think he has a big ego. Well, Ivan on Tech makes the point, well, it's probably good for his ego to look at $500 million in ETH in his MetaMask. That's also good for his ego too. He might just be looking at that and be like, I don't have to do shit. And so this is what could happen potentially. You just don't know. This is what the whole thing of taking risk in some of these blockchains, because they do have the most asymmetric upside potential, but they could also do nothing and go to zero. It's going to go to zero. You just don't know. So you just have to be aware of this. And if you end up in one of those ecosystems that does have the most asymmetric upside and you complete the asymmetric upside, we just need to know, you probably should take some profits. Let's just be honest. We don't want to always round trip and just be like, well, we believe so much in crypto that we're not going to pay ourselves ever. We're just going to be so you know, I don't know. Yeah, you do have to pay yourselves too. So, but we did talk about this on the stream with Graham, that it's all relative of what your portfolio is. Like, someone's portfolio right now could be 10x'd. And if they have not taken profits yet, that would probably be a good hedge on their portfolio, is to take those profits. Like me right now, I am not in that position. My portfolio is not 10x'd. I do not feel like taking profits. I need to be buying more crypto. That's where I am right now in my crypto accumulation journey. And you might be feeling that same way. Or you're like 2x and you're just like, okay, all right, it's up. I finally crossed, like I'm over break even. So it's all relative, guys. It's really all relative. That's why you can't listen to specifically someone's trajectory of time of when you should be doing things. It's all up to you and what your portfolio looks like. So yeah, why I'm not 10x right now is that I traded too much, I leverage traded, and I'm in the like the worst, probably the worst ecosystems alive. I'm in one of the most made fun of coins, but one of the more bullish coins, ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10 Inu. People are like, oh, you're still bullish on that in 2025? And then if I say I have a little bit of Pulse Chain, they're like, Jesus, bro, you're cooked. But all right, what's going on, guys? And make sure you're smashing up the like button. I think the algorithm is working a little bit better today. Holy crap. Yesterday, I had literally 2.5 men watching. I had 2.5 a person watching on YouTube. That half a person was screaming the whole time because it was half a person, but you know, it's whatever. It's what you do, what you got to do on this YouTube algorithm sometimes. But let's give you a little bit of an AI breakdown. So let's see. This is a so Grok thinks this is a mid-cycle shakeout. I kind of feel the same way. BTC is testing that 100K like it's 2022 all over again, but on-chain signals scream capitulation bottom. So with retail exhaustion from the leverage, it's just retail exhaustion from leverage, institutional inflows lurking, total market cap down 20% from October. So we peaked at 4.4 trillion and now we're at 3.3. So we took a hit. So the fact that we've just been like just skirting around this 4 trillion, we haven't even passed 5 trillion in the total cryptocurrency market cap is so undervalued. It is disgustingly undervalued. Crypto as a whole, as an industry, is disgustingly undervalued compared to what's out there in the world. And if you believe in crypto as much as we do in terms of like the utility of it, you can make the jokes all day that crypto doesn't have any utility. It's got the most damn utility. It's literally how like everything that you do on the internet requires literally what basically crypto does, but you get to be the actual person to do it, and you see it, and then you can actually be a part of it, and you can own the networks and the things that are happening, quote, in the background. That's all Web 1 and Web 2 was, is all these companies getting to get you to use the stuff, but you don't get to actually invest in it unless you knew that what you were investing in back in the early 2000s was powering all the crap that you use. That's how you knew. Only if you were intuitive enough to then go, oh, maybe I should probably invest in that, you know, but they don't teach you to invest. They teach you to be a worker bee. They teach you to be a debt slave. They don't teach you to invest in the stuff that will power the world. So this is what we're doing today. We're trying to teach you that this stuff over the long period is the stuff that is going to power the world. And the fact that it's only at $4.4 trillion right now as a whole, massively undervalued. So, but that's where the legends buy the damn fear, my friend. So fear and greed index at 21, that's extreme fear territory. So if we're in extreme fear, that means you need to be flipping your mind into not being so bearish, because The millionaires are made in the bear market. Okay, if it's a long bear market, short bear market, I don't care what bear market it is, a slight correction of a bear, that's where the millionaires are made. The millionaires aren't made in the bull market. They're made in the bear market because that's where you get to buy low. And then in the bull market, you're choosing what point of your portfolio where you're at, and then you can make the decision. I'm just going to be a long-term accumulator. I'll hedge. I'll make sure I do take some profits. Or you're just going to be a freaking diamond hand legend like the Bitcoiners were back in the day. Didn't sell a damn coin and then sold 10 years later. So it's all relative. Laser says, if you trade against me, I'm gonna take all your coins with no remorse. But yeah, so this is what we need to. Your followers need this. So yeah, it's telling us that position for the rebound. Position for the rebound, not the panic. Focus on liquidity grabs, which is what just happened with the max pain on Bitcoin. Total liquidity grab. Spot hold over leverage. This is AI telling you this too. It's not just me. Spot hold over leverage and alt rotation. So you're going to see where the rotations are happening, which alts are going to be the strongest. We have a list of some that we think are going to probably be the first movers here. And it actually, it's got a really good list. So the list is XRP, Doge, ETH, Bitcoin, Sol, and AVAX is on my list as well. In some of those big movers. Now why we're even specific, because look, we don't even own XRP, but we know that XRP still has its own narrative alongside crypto. As long as Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple, they're going to go public here pretty soon. They're going to have NASDAQ in the stock market kind of, they're probably going to have some type of motion here. So XRP with the whole take it over the banking system, that narrative's toast. That was killed months ago, okay? No one thinks that XRP is going to be the quote pick of the banks. It's not going to be like that. It's different. It's like, that's not really what it's about. I think more so it's going to be like sovereign wealth fund, that maybe some big country will start to will implement the RLUSD stablecoin, and the whole thing of them going public, that could bring and generate more like institutional like holding of the stock, but then also connections with the actual XRP token. So who knows? I mean, this thing could go to $5. So XRP right now could do a nice clean 2-3x in the momentum. And we've pointed this out that XRP from previous, how it broke out of its bull flag, it did it like textbook. So I would keep an eye on XRP, just for that fact alone. And then we mentioned about the bullishness of Ethereum and Sol. Sol BTC ratio is starting to look good. We had a double bottom of the Sol BTC ratio that actually brought us into some really good territory for the alts. Once these things start to reverse, and they do get like what happened with the BTC ratio here with ETH, we'll get some action, we'll get some traction. And so I think once we actually get into the 618 and the 786 of where we were in the previous bull market for Sol, that's when we're going to start getting like a $400, $500 Solana. And then once we get to the first 1618, which has happened with the other altcoins that move first, they pump to the first 1618, and that's where it's like going to be like game on. And I think, and we'll tie it back to the ETFs, when you start to see, look, it's already happening. It's already happening, guys. Look, we got Bitwise and Grayscale. They are so bullish, especially Bitwise. And we actually have a video of Matt Hogan. Is it Matt Hogan? Yeah, Matt Hogan of Bitwise talking about how so I'm an idiot. This guy's smart. He has millions of dollars. I don't. He's saying the same shit I am. So listen to him.
The Bitwise Solana staking ETF started trading on the New York Stock Exchange exactly 1 week ago. And according to FactSet, the ETF saw
You can be bullish Solana and bullish Ethereum all at the same time.
inflows of $417 million over the past week, and Bitwise is recording $67 million of inflows yesterday alone. Now that it has been exactly 1 week since its launch, how would you say this new ETF is performing so far?
I think it's been a fantastic launch. Investors.
That's funny, Scuba Gerbil. And that why I think I might still even have like hope for XRP is that the XRP army and the reels that you'll see about XRP are just so outlandish. Like XRP to $1,000. And then they're like, do you realize that that is like literally a $30 trillion market cap? They're like, I don't care, bro. It's going to $1,000. It's like if you have that level of delusion, I think XRP might just send to $10, and like they don't realize how crazy that even is for it to go to $10. So let's see what happens with the XRP, man. The XRP reels are out of control on TikTok.
Were clearly hungry for Solana exposure in a simple staking spot ETF, and they've been buying BSOL in droves. It's the fastest growing new ETF to launch this year out of 850 ETFs, not just in crypto, but across all assets. I think people recognize that Solana is one of the most exciting crypto assets on the market today. It has some of the biggest upside. We've had a little market pullback. People have an opportunity to get in at a fantastic entry price with Solana trading below 160. It makes me really excited. I think these flows will continue. I think what we've seen is just a down payment. And again, we're just so excited to have BSOL on the market.
So expanding on that, in a nutshell, why do you think there is so much demand for this investment product? In a note to clients last week, you argued that Solana benefits from both the growth of the stablecoin and tokenization infrastructure markets, and that Solana will win an increasing share of the market. Can you elaborate on why it was important for Bitwise to offer an ETF focused on Solana and staking?
Yeah, absolutely. I love crypto investments that give you two bets at once. And that's what you're getting with BSOL, right? You're betting that stablecoins and tokenization will be more important in 5 years than they are today. Solana has a role to play in that
5
ecosystem.
years,
So
not 6 months. 5 years, not 6 month trencher. 5 years.
With the market, this could be a fantastic investment. And then, as you mentioned, you're betting that Solana will win a bigger share of that market. Ethereum is a clear leader. It's a fantastic, exciting protocol, but Solana is getting key wins. Just last week, we saw Western Union launch a stablecoin on Solana. So that's a bet I like as well. If both of those bets pay off, you could see this asset double, triple, maybe grow by 10x in the next few years. It's really exciting to get that exposure. And then the other piece you mentioned.
So to kind of get, so like we said, you see that BTC, Sol BTC ratio start to kind of creep up. You start to creep up, get into that next phase of the market. And then that will actually, along with the spot buying for the servicing of the ETFs, like he's talking about, can get us to the first 1618, which is $430. Now, do you remember what happened to coins like Bonk, to coins like Orca, Radium? I mean, you know, just any of the ecosystems and protocols and dApps that are on Solana. Oh, these things went up 500%, 600%. I mean, they go up a lot. And even the AI slop coins were pumping while we had that bullishness in January for hitting that all-time high. And so we're just kind of like, that was like the preseason, and now we're going to get into like the true season. So this is just me being super bullish. Yeah, I mean, dude, like Griffin, like Griffin, basically, yeah, like Griffin, like where are they at now? That's why I can't stand things like Griffin. Let's see, Griffin pumped, but look, now where is it? And I haven't heard a single post, haven't heard a single thing from him, haven't seen anything at all. No one gives a crap. So that's why It's like we had this whole like AI thing going, and Binance listed all of them and dumped them to zero. Let's just be honest. Binance listed all of them perps at a 200x leverage, and they all got cooked. So let's hope that doesn't happen with Zera, where Zera is not going to get listed for some perps exchange, and they'll be true to the nature of what they're doing, and you'll be able to just buy spot, and their supply won't get destroyed by these exchanges, because that's literally what happened, you know? Dude, I don't need to do any research. They disappeared off my timeline, and then that's it. That's all I need to know. Where's the team? Where's the token? It's gone. That's all I need to know. What other research do I need to do? It's like they're like, test Griffin. Okay, yeah, abandon it. But we'll see. But look at that. I mean, it's just like into the freaking ground. Came back a little bit in May, but then just nothing. So yes, you could have got it at 30. You could have got it here. Could have got it all in these spots, and then yeah, you really only have a very short window of time before you're getting cooked. But that's pretty crazy though. 600, it got to 600 million. That's what's insane, is it did get to 600 million, and then it was just But what was interesting is that yeah, Solana was posting about this. That's what was crazy. Yeah. It was literally just like it started right here in the end of December, or at the beginning of December, and you had like a couple weeks, then it pumped here, and then 2 months. Two months is a short window. It is a short window. This isn't an investment. This isn't an investment. This is a gamble. So it's like, that's where there are differences between, I think, an investment and a gamble. Like, and it's funny because Dogecoin was a gamble. Now it's an investment because it was able to, and you'd laugh and say, you're insane. But Dogecoin is the top 10. Dogecoin is still in the top 10. So now it has turned into an investment. Oh my gosh. But then you would go to Cardano and be like, I don't know, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. But lasers are saying, heads up, privacy is the future. All right, well then let's get into Zera then. Let's see what's going on with this. And then we're going to end in about 5 minutes. We're going to continue this clip because there's some really cool stuff that he says in here. But let's get let's go to Zera real quick. Let's look at the chart. Let's see. All right, so this is the new chart because of the migration. And if we go, we'd have to go back to the other chart to see kind of what this was looking like, because it was kind of, yeah, I know. It's really like, this is just kind of like, because the contract was migrated, or the liquidity pool was migrated, so we'd have to look at the other Zera chart that we had saved. Let's see. Is this it? I don't know. I might not be able to look at it. Oh, no, this is it. Because it was on Radium. Yes. This pair has very little. Is that okay? This is the one I was marking. Okay. So this is the original chart. You can see this is where it got the migration. What the freaking heck? Why did it? What? That's so crazy. That's funny. That's obviously a glitch, but it shows a wick all the way up to like hundreds of billions of dollars. That's hilarious. All right, so we'll go back to that new contract. Yeah, I mean, so at least we'll give the example of like if Griffin was able to do that with like barely, like they had a product, but no one was really using it. That was kind of like, they had something, but then everyone kind of just like gave up on alts in general. And then the AI stuff got hit the hardest, like where people were just like, nope, the rotation was so hard that even with something like Griffin that had a quote product, no one cared. So, and it still went to $600 million market cap. Crazy, almost like over $500 million. So I guess the lesson in this is that if you are accumulating something like that, which was Griffin early, and you were up 10x and you didn't take profits, that's your own fault. So, and then you could just be like, okay, well, I got my initials out, I took profits, I'll hold the bag. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. And that's kind of, that's how you have to treat some of these coins, sadly, or you take the long, long haul. So, but with this, it's 31 million. It's still under 50 mil. It's under 100 mil. We've seen garbage go to like 500. That's literally like a flash in the pan meme from TikTok. Do stupid stuff on Solana. So if this thing actually accomplishes launching a successful privacy protocol on Solana, then there's no reason why this thing can't get to a $200 million market cap. Just like off the first rip of something really hitting hard with Solana. But we use the example of how all those other coins on Solana, when Solana was pumping in its all-time high to 285, 300, getting close to those points, we had all that AI slop go up insane. So, and I don't think this is slop. This is something seems legit. It could do 1,000% move to the upside over the next couple months. And so, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But it's worth looking at least. It's definitely at least worth looking at, because if everyone's bullish and on Zcash right now, super bullish on Zcash, and possibly then going into Monero, which both of these are high market cap privacy coins. We got to go to our privacy section here. Go to privacy. And so what's interesting is that you think that like some of these are like, oh, these are privacy coins, because some of these have a different type of privacy protocol set in place. Like there's like ZK, there's like obfuscation through certain chains. Like if it kind of like, it's got like a layer of privacy. So that's kind of like Rose. Like Rose Oasis is one of those where it's got a layer infrastructure of privacy built into it. Different than probably Monero or Dash or Zcash, different kind of thing. So this is your more like higher traded volume stuff in terms of privacy is Rose, Dusk, Monero, Mina. I've forgot about this one. I remember hearing about this, but I don't know too much about it. Then you got the ZK's Sync, which is very much a technology that a lot of the decentralized perps are using. That's the ZK thing is that's what Zera's using. That's the same type of technology, but they're doing it in their own kind of way, I guess. Then you have Dash. Dash is probably more similar to Zcash, but Rose looks very good though. I like Rose. I've mentioned Rose for years. And yeah, Rose is layer 1 privacy. Yeah, and you can hold it multi-chain, so it's got its own chain. Let's go back to Rose real quick before I get on Dash, because I do like Rose. Rose is really cool. Rose, I think, has does Rose have its own? Yeah, I don't know why it's not on here though. But you can hold the contract of Rose on Ethereum. You can hold it on BNB, Solana, AVAX. Let's see what has the most DEX volume. On Rose, the DEX volume is like next to nothing. It's more all just like spot volume on exchanges. You can also perp. I think you can perp trade this as well, but biggest volume on spot right now is Binance, Coinbase, Gate, and that's pretty much it for the top 3. And then interesting, the supply is total supply is only 10 billion rows, and the circulating supply is 7.4 billion. So not all the supply is circulating just yet. You can see the allocation here. 65% of it has been unlocked. There's still 11% locked and 23% untracked. Let's see, the community and the ecosystem itself hold 24% of the supply. But why I've mentioned Rose is that Rose actually had been one of the stronger altcoins to give a nice pump in 2024 and a little bit in December. So like along with the altcoins, us getting like altcoin season, Rose has done really well. Like you can see, look, in 2021 in the beginning of the year in March did really well, and it had 3 different spikes to all-time highs. I remember seeing this and I was like, whoa, what is going on? We had like, it was like Kava, Rose, Waves, what else? There was all these different altcoins that were popping up that were just pulling multiples, just like 100%, 100%, 100%. It was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. But like altcoins can do, you got a kind of a short window, of time to where you're like, do I sell? What do I do? Because imagine you hold the bag and you DCA it all the way up here, and then you didn't take any profits, and you've literally now it's at the absolute bottom. So, but from here, you have the best asymmetric upside potential, right? I mean, this is kind of what it is with the alts now. Now it's like we're at max fear. We're at max fear, absolute extreme fear. And you're in the alts that before in the previous bull market, when we saw all those things line up that are lining up right now, currently, these things went to the moon. So it is very much a big risk, but the potential upside of this, if you're accumulating things that are fitting with our narratives right now, you could do really well. I mean, you really could do well, massively well. So yeah, Rose looks good. I like Rose. I think if you're going to build up a privacy protocol bag here, you'd be getting a little Rose, a little Monero, little ZK Sync, little Dash, hey, Zcash right now is literally at $710. You are buying. Okay, and this is we got to get into Zcash here for a second. I got to pull up this chart because I don't know what the hell's going on. This is insane. This is crazy. Like, what the heck? What in the heck? No. I need to go to Zcash, like Zcash Binance, like on the monthly. What are yeah. I don't understand what's going on here. Okay. Because when was Zcash created? Zcash, because on here it shows Zcash was created in 2017 and this price doesn't seem right. Well, Headband, you won't have to tell me I told you so. I am going to hold some. I am going to buy some. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, so the circulating supply of Zcash is 16 million Zcash. The max supply is 21 million Zcash. So an ode to Bitcoin, 21 million Zcash, 21 million Bitcoin. The market cap is at $11 billion. So it's currently ranked number 12. That is crazy though. I don't know what's going on with that. Like it was like the price in 2016 was $4,293, but then it that was like, I guess that was the ICO, and then it was like went down to $91 in 2016. And then here you can see it's actually, what's interesting, it is 2018. It's going back to it's basically touching its 2018 resistance. It basically went right into its 2018 resistance right here. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to buy Zcash right now. I'm not going to be a sucker. Like, it's too obvious. Like, it's too obvious right now to be freaking buying Zcash at its 2018 resistance. It's crazy. I feel like that would be an insane, and it's like, yeah, Zcash to $1,000. Okay, cool. I don't know. And then you see all the usual suspects being bullish on the timeline Zcash. I don't know. Yeah, and that is funny as hell. Yeah, Lasers, he says, or no, Ozzy said, if I buy Zcash, it'll Z crash. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I'll give you my picks though. Like my picks, I think what is gonna do well in 2026. Chainlink. I think Chainlink still at $15 is just like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like apparently Chainlink is still revolutionizing all these things with their CCIP or their connections of the interoperability that they're trying to do with all of the links between these blockchains, between the banks and the way that they can interact securely using Chainlink. I think Litecoin is going to surprise us all. I think Litecoin could probably easily go to $500 a Litecoin. I think AVAX is very undervalued. It's kind of a little underrated too, because AVAX, if you've ever used it, is super fast. It's like boom, instant. Faster than Base, faster than all these layer ones. It's really good. And honestly, I like AVAX. I think AVAX has got a good narrative with the gaming stuff, institutions. I still like SHIB. I think SHIB is going to do well with Doge, kind of in tandem. I think TON is a good choice for the Telegram ecosystem and the Telegram app. I think Durov, Pavel, or however the heck you say his name, Durov. I think he's going to, I think there's going to be something happening on this chain. I don't know. It's worth a shot. It's got literally, Telegram has the most users out of any quote decentralized chat, and it has a wallet built into it. So I still think that has potential. Crow, I think Crow is a great choice for kind of the deals that are happening with the Trump administration, with the deals with FIFA, prediction markets, stocks, like NFTs. I mean, they kind of Crow, and with the crypto.com, they're just in it all. They're just trying to do it all. So they're very much a competitor with Coinbase and Kraken and all those companies. But they've definitely got a lot more support with the Trump family, which we're just hoping they just pump the damn bags of Crow, please. But we've been bullish Crow before even Trump or any of the, Trumpers were in the Crow ecosystem. I have video proof. I mean, we've been bullish Crow for a while because we like crypto.com. Near protocol is interesting. I think, we were diving into near protocol about 2.5 years ago, where it's more of almost like a social platform, like a social dashboard for your address, your near address. Cause I think I have danocrypto.near, and it's very much kind of like a cool niche ecosystem that you can get into with near. It's kind of like a Solana. So if you're like, hey, if we get a rotation into some companies or some of these people in crypto going into near from Solana, that might be cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about AVAX's meme coin. Yeah, Ozzy mentioned about the COQ Inu. That's the premier meme on AVAX. And then if you want to know about decentralized trading or a DEX, AVAX has Pangolin. So Pangolin is the DEX. And Trader Joe is another one of those DEXs on AVAX, and then the meme coin is COQ Inu. What else in the top 30, top 50 here I think would do really well? Pepe going back to all-time highs from its lows right now is a 4x. Yeah, there's a connection between Near and Solana, and I can't remember what it is. Is that it? They're the same. They're very similar. They're very similar. Yeah, PNG, Pangolin. Yeah. See, we could build such a solid portfolio with each chain that we like. Like we could go into each kind of like breakdown an ecosystem. Like if you're bullish Pol or Polygon ecosystem, then you should like start to look into things like QuickSwap. You'd realize that on Polygon you can hold Chainlink or Render or any kind of like bullish liquid coin that you like in terms of those alts. Yeah, what else? What else is I think Pump Fund is still gonna have. I think still they're gonna do really well when Solana does well. I think Pump Fund with Elon, and they're gonna probably still be one of those top applications. Let's see what else. Jupiter. If you've ever used the Jupiter wallet, it's actually really good. I like the Jupiter wallet. It's a very good competitive wallet alongside Phantom or Soulflare or what other wallets are there? There's a few, but those are the main ones. You got Soulflare, you got Jupiter, you got Phantom. Let's see. Well, Bonk is very much in competition with the launch pads for Pump Fund because you have Bonk. You have the Bonk tokens, Bonk Launchpad. One of the more popular ones now that is becoming something that is on the Bonk Launchpad is Bucky. That's kind of what I was like, because there's all these different Bonk tokens to kind of go with alongside with the Pump Fund tokens. And I was seeing Bucky on the timeline. People were posting about it, but then I was seeing the connection. Actually, Ragsley helped me with the connection. I was like, oh, okay. So that's like the Bonk play. So you can be bullish Bonk, but then you can also be bullish on the coins that are being used in the Launchpad. What else? I'm just kind of going in the top 100 here. Just kind of looking at the top 100. SPX 6900, I think still obviously like with the connection with all those coins like SPX 6900, MOG, Ticker Bitcoin, Harry Potter, Obama Sonic, 10 Inu. You got Apu, you have Wojak, you have Bobo, you have man, what else? What else is in that like high liquidity, like legacy ETH memes? Kind of like that contract lore. Yeah, like I said, you got Wojak, you have this banana, you have the Milady Cult, you have MOG, SPX 6900, Pepe, Ticker Bitcoin, And then you can go down the line and say, okay, maybe you can add Bobo into that list. I've noticed some of those same holders that hold Apu and Wojak or these coins, they also like have a little bit of Kekius too. So it's kind of like maybe that's their hedge play, you know, in some of these memes, like with the Pepe memes. Like they're like, okay, Pepe, when Pepe pumps, that's when Apu and Kekius and any connected frog coin is going to quote follow suit. So that's why we're still bullish Pepe and want Pepe to do well, because it's the thing that started the meme season. Make meme coins great again was Pepe. Pepe still has the best contract lore. It's got 420 trillion supply. The contract says 69 in it. It's the best. So at its bottom currently right now, if you go to all-time highs, we're at a 477% move to the upside. So that's just buying a frog coin spot. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now so far, just kind of keeping my eyes open. And knowing that we're still in such a great accumulation zone because of the nature of the markets being so volatile. It's really honestly like a blessing in disguise. Instead of being angry about it, be happy that we get to practice buying low in extreme fear and then hopefully selling at extreme greed. Because we've kind of been doing the opposite sometimes, and it's just the nature of the business. You know, you're going to end up buying when it's FOMO and extreme greed, and then you end up selling when it's red, and we have to flip that. So but yeah, I'm bullish. Immutable X, IMX, gaming ecosystem. I'm bullish. Orca, Radium, and any of the Solana stuff. I still like Ponky. Probably gonna buy some Ponky again. I don't have any. I sold it all. I capitulated. I just got cooked. I made profits and then lost profits. Round tripped. Who cares? Did the same thing with Brett. Probably gonna have to. I'm buying Brett back again. Nakamoto Games, I'm going to keep accumulating this. I think they just launched a mobile app. So if you're bullish crypto gaming, I think GTA coming out and being released next year, or, you know, whenever, or 2027 is going to line up perfectly with the bull market peak, because there's going to be some kind of crypto thing going on in there. Medieval Empires crypto game. This is a crypto game that you can play that has a token that is has some pretty cool utility. I like that. I like Dogecoin. Obviously, we talked about Pepe. I like Pepe. I like XYO, but they're doing absolutely terrible right now with their marketing, with the new chain that they just did. Kind of disappointed with that. AVAX. I like AVAX. Like I said, super fast, very reliable chain. Polygon, love it. You can hold a lot of liquid stuff on Polygon. Ticker Bitcoin is my favorite meme coin. I think it's the most asymmetric upside meme coin that has all the narratives working for it. It's literally called Bitcoin. The ticker's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin on Ethereum. We talked about why we're bullish Crow. Crow has all the connections with the Trump family. It has connections with FIFA. It has connections with so much stuff. You can literally do every single kind of financial thing on there right now. So if you're wanting to kind of just get a one-stop shop, that's a good place to do it. Solana, like we said, Solana through the ETFs, through all the institutional adoption, through NASDAQ on chain, through stablecoin minting, through all of the things that make Solana a place for developers to go. Solana, I think, is going to go to $1,000. So I just be bullish Solana, and then also the things that are underlying on the chain that are smart contracts on Solana. Same thing with Ethereum. No reason to be bearish Ethereum. You can be bullish Solana and be bullish Ethereum at the same time. That's how I'm operating. And then, of course, the Mac Daddy Bitcoin. So, and that's where I'm at. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Real quick, we're going to play this last clip of Matt Hogan explaining kind of his reasoning why he is bullish ETH and Solana at the same time. And then we're going to end the stream. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, we'll end on this clip.
And was the staking element. The real beauty of BSOL, our ETF, is not only does it give you exposure to Solana, but it stakes 100% of that Solana. So chasing after the 7% plus yields that are available, to have one of the most exciting assets in one of the most exciting markets, stablecoins and tokenization, with phenomenal technology and real momentum, plus a 7% staking yield. I think that's part of why you've seen that $400 million plus flow into BSOL in just its first week on the market.
So Bitwise also has a US-based Ethereum staking ETF, which I understand is in the process of being updated to include staking rewards. Bitwise also offers a similar product based in Europe, and that one captures staking rewards. What's the latest with that product, and how do you think it will compare to the new Solana ETF?
Yeah, Bitwise is a leader in staking. We have a whole staking division, Bitwise On-Chain Solutions. So this is a critical part of investing in the crypto infrastructure. I think you're going to see many ETFs that were launched under the original regime, right, during the Gensler era SEC, let's say, migrate up to offer staking rewards. The pace at which they do that in the US is to be determined. It doesn't help. I'll add that the government is closed. That definitely slows us down from making those sorts of innovations. But we've been doing it in Europe for years.
And that's what's so interesting is that like the government shutdown has extended what had already been a quote extended cycle for this particular crypto run. Because all the indicators had flashed for us being in quote the start of the run, but it just doesn't, but it's like, okay, well, the time frame of it doesn't match up with the last cycle, because technically we're already past the 520 average days of being past the halving, and that normally would signal a top of the market. So is the 4-year cycle broken?
Doing it with these new ETFs like Solana, and we're looking at it for our existing ETFs, and we'll upgrade where it makes sense. Investors don't want to miss out on that potential upside increment of returns that can be had through a high quality staking service.
So can we expect to see any more new spot crypto ETFs from Bitwise in the near future?
Lasers, you're complaining because your maid is making too much noise? You better get off my live stream. I don't have a maid cleaning my house. Where's my maid? Laser, get the maid.
Perhaps tied to other altcoins, are there any plans to offer even more new products like this?
Absolutely. We think there's demand for exposure to a large number of those altcoins. I think that you'll see.
Sorry, my cash machine is making too much noise. Let me go turn it off.
Assets like XRP and other major assets get their ETFs relatively soon. We've seen filings from the SEC, not talking about any specific filing, but we've seen those moving through the system. We're going to wake up in 6 months and investors are going to be able to use high quality, low cost ETFs to access the top 10, maybe top 20 ETFs. And then the next exciting thing beyond that is you're going to start to see ETFs that package those together in diversified exposures. Those index-based ETFs, I actually think, could be one of the surprises of the market.
Yes. Now, he's pointing out the fact that what we've talked about is they're going to basket ETF these altcoins. They're going to put it there. So Crypto.com is already doing this. They have a basket index where you can basically just like you buy the one thing and then you get exposure into 6 different relative altcoins. Okay. And so this is huge. This means that not only are the altcoins themselves are going to get exposure, and they also are going to be basketed together to then also get more exposure. I mean, this is going to be crazy. So like with Doge, like imagine they literally, Canary already filed for it, but it's just it takes a little bit. They have a, I think it was Canary. Or was it, I can't remember exactly who it was. But they did a research and they speculated that they would have a meme coin index that would have Doge, Pepe. I think Fartcoin was in it too. Just like all these, just like classic like stuff that you'd be like, no way, like this is really happening right now. But just wait, we're gonna have a meme ETF that's going to have all of the most popular traded bullish meme coins in terms of volume right here. Like you just go to memes in the category. Just go to all categories and then type in memes. And you're going to see in the top 20, so just go by 24-hour trading volume. This is literally, oops, Suding. What the heck? Hippo. How's that? Is that a Sui meme coin? No, that must be new. Suding. Basically mooding on Sui. Headband. Do you know about this? You should know about this because you're a Sui. You're a Sui dude. You got your Sui lords. What the heck? Yeah, we got to figure that out. All right, but yeah, so we're going to be seeing all of these basically go into an ETF. That's going to be hilarious. You got Pudgy Penguins, SHIB, Whiff, Bonk, and Pepe, and the Trump coin and Doge all in one basket ETF. Or you just get all the dogs in one ETF. You get Nero, you get Floki, Bonk, Whiff, SHIB, and Doge all in one. Oh, Suding? Was that Suding? I thought that was Lo-Fi. I thought Lo-Fi was one of the first memes on Sui. Huh. Because this was supposed to be the quote mascot. So Suding just took over, eh? I bet you it was probably a lot of the lo-fi people went into Suding. But this didn't, I mean, this kind of went down into the twos. But okay, so CTO'd, got CTO'd. All right, yeah, I just hadn't really followed what was going on with Sui stuff, so. But I did mention, though, weeks ago, if you're wanting to start to explore the ecosystems that don't have a lot of trading volume right now, this was Sui. So we went into Sui and we were like, look, Ton's one of those places, AVAX is one of those places, and also if you go and click into Sui, it's only like, we're still pretty early, you know? We had a little bit of a season, but then you can see it kind of cooled off, but then who knows? But all right, guys. All right, let's keep playing this clip. Sorry, it's taking forever to play this clip, and then we're going to end it.
Even than the Ethereum ETF. So there is definitely more coming from Bitwise. We've entered the ETF era of crypto, and I think that's a very good thing for investors.
In that note to clients last week that I mentioned earlier, you argued that you think that over time, all payments will be in stablecoins and nearly all assets will be tokenized. Why do you feel that way? I'm sure the Genius Act stablecoin bill becoming law over the summer here in the US had something to do with it.
That's absolutely right. It's a fundamentally better technology and not just a little bit better. The analogy is between writing letters and sending emails. How many of us still write letters? They're very quaint. It's nice every 3 years when you receive one from a friend, but we write emails because it's faster, cheaper, 24/7. Dollars move already today over networks like Ethereum and Solana faster than they do over the largest banking networks in the world. Not just a little bit faster. I can move money anywhere in the world on a blockchain almost instantaneously for very little cost. I just think it's inevitable that all payments will move over stablecoin rails. All major assets will move over over blockchain-based rails. And it's not just me. You're hearing that from the head of the SEC. You're hearing that from the leadership of the largest asset managers in the world, like BlackRock. You're seeing it when every major Wall Street institution is launching a stablecoin and tokenization push. I think this will happen faster than people expect. Now that we have the Genius Act, now that we have regulation around these and people aren't afraid to interact with them, I think we could wake up in just a few years and this could be a dominant way that we pay for things, that we trade stocks, that we trade bonds, that we trade ETFs. This is a massive upgrade of our financial ecosystem. And again, I think it's coming faster than most people think.
So we don't have enough time to get to the last end of the clip, but he does talk about how he's just bullish ETH and Solana. So that was kind of the point that I wanted to make. But yeah, Matt Hogan makes a lot of good points in this video. We'll post it in the link in the chat here so you guys can kind of finish the tail end of it. But yeah, yeah, we just want to be bullish and continue to know that this ecosystem is very undervalued, and I think people are just being way too bearish. And yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out the stuff in the description of the channel. You can directly support the channel by checking out just want to be bullish links in the description. We only have a few links. I mean, we literally have 2 links you can click. You can click on the crypto.com one. They're offering a pretty big bonus right now if you're doing like spot buying or anything like that. And remember, there's no leverage on there. You can do strike options, but it's not the same as, leverage. So, but you can check out my MetaMask rewards. If you haven't checked out or signed up for the MetaMask rewards program, check out my link. You can see it also here and follow me at DanoCrypto904. You can tune into my live streams on X, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, wherever you have streaming happening. That is where I will be. But here is the main pinned link for the MetaMask referral program, and you can get some points. But thank you guys again, and I will see you on the next one. Have a fantastic weekend. Peace.